Uh, Hello everyone. This is Dr. Ishan Sanil for Research Circle. Thank you for joining us today for this edition of Research Circle Editor's Desk. As I explained you last time, we all know what is the importance of a chief editor, and even during a last interview, we got to know a lot of insight on what does the editor thinks and how they do going about their things in the journal. So today we are lucky to have with us uh, Professor Dr. Mohammed Mamun Habib. Professor Dr. Mamun Habib is a professor at School of Business, Independent University, Bangladesh, and in addition, Dr. Habib is the visiting scientist of University of Texas, Arlington, USA. Prior to that, he was associated at RAC University, BRAC University, Bangladesh, Asia Graduate School of Business at Unitar International University, Malaysia, Department of Operations Research, Decision Sciences, University Uttar, Malaysia, and Department of Operation Management, American International University, Bangladesh. He is accomplished his PhD and MS with outstanding performance in computer and engineering management under the Graduate School of Business from Assumption University, Thailand. His PhD research was in the field of supply chain management. He has more than 18 years experience in the field of teaching as well as in training, workshop, consultancy and research. He delivers lectures and keynote speaker at 50 plus international conferences at various countries, particularly Taiwan, USA, China, Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, Turkey, Korea, India, UK, Australia. He has several PhD involvements with universities in Malaysia, India, and UK. He has more than 140 publications in various reputed journals, indexed in well-known databases like Web of Science and Scopus. He is also an active member of different professional organizations. He is involved with QS University Ranking and Times Higher Education Ranking as an academician. More importantly, like always, in our Research Circle editor desk, he is the editor in chief in the International Journal of Supply Chain Management, London, UK, which is a Scopus index journal. So, without wasting much time, let me welcome Professor Dr. Mohammed Mamun Habib. So, good morning, sir. So
Thank you.
You're joining us from Bangladesh.
Right.
So, first of all, thank you very much for some time to join us in this edition of Research Circle Editor's Desk.
It's my pleasure that I'm here with you.
Yeah, that's great. And for the benefit of our viewers, it would be great if you could just brief us your journey because it will inspire our viewers. So, how did you go about this? Till your journey as a chief editor and a well-known professor.
Thank you so much. First of all, as you know that my undergrad from Bangladesh and then my master's and the PhD from Thailand. So when I was in undergraduate level, I couldn't think that I would do the PhD. So that is the starting of my academic thinking. But when I was pursuing my master's, the time I was inspired to pursue the PhD due to my advisor. He was a dean of my school that time. So I was inspired by him, and I planning I will do the PhD on supply chain management. And I did this one, and during my PhD, I developed the one model, which is very renowned model, ITESCA model, Integrated Tertiary Educational Supply Chain Management model. And that is the one motivation that after the research and PhD, I would like to focus more on research rather than suppose the teaching and consultancy. So consequently, my involvement in the research, I was involved with the different journals for the as a reviewer, editorial board member. So I remember that I spent a few hours every day for the process. And then I got the offer to become the editor in chief of journal from the UK. And that is the way that how I started from the academics to become the editor-in-chief.
Okay, that's a great journey. I think must inspired with that journey, because I'm sure you also started from scratch. So, Professor, the next thing I would ask about is your journal. So, because from your journal inception till now, the Scopus Index and one of the well-known journal in the field of supply chain management. How did you manage this, and how did you manage to get the journal to this level so fast and make it a very reputed and reliable journal?
Thank you. I still recall that it was the 2011, end of the 2011. I received the one email from UK, and they're planning for the one journal. So they like to get my proposal, so the title and other information. And after getting my proposal, they will officially submit to the British Library for the registration process. I still recall that I was thinking that whether I could handle this journal as editor-in-chief. And in 2012, I decided after the few months thinking, I think we can. I should say the yes to become the editor-in-chief in the journal. I still remember the time my first son, he was in the hospital due to the burn. So I was thinking that the journal will be like my kid, so that I can spend more time for the journal. And you know that is very. The journal started 2012, and it is Scopus Index 2016, and then the journal now is the Q3, hoping that it will move to the like Q2, and that in terms of the citation, in terms of the impact is very high, especially in the field of the supply chain management. So that is what I said, that started the 2012, and then it is the index in the British Library for the ISSN registration. At first online, then ISSN print, and then we go for the Scopus, and I was directly involved for the Scopus index.
Okay.
It's very interesting things that they keep
yeah.
my own hand. And this level, though I'm involved with the other journal as editor, board member, editor-in-chief, as well as co-editor-in-chief, but I always keep this journal as my, what I said, as my newborn baby.
Okay, that's a good journey, and I'm surprised that from 2012 to 2016, the span of around 4 years, you have managed it to get it to Scopus, which is not an easy thing to do. And now I think you are already in Q3, so that's also a good achievement. So I'm sure soon you will target of sciences.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So for the people who are there in the field of supply chain management, this is a journal you have to look into, and you have to listen to what our guest today has to say about the journal, because it is a very reputed journal in Q3. It takes a lot to be in Q3 so fast. So that I should congratulate you for that achievement. That's a great one. So the next thing, what the viewers or the prospective authors to your journal would like to know, what is the publication process like? Like how do they go about submitting a paper to your journal, and what is the process like?
You know that as a Scopus in the journal, it is very common for all Scopus in the journal. There's a long queue for submission process. Even you can see the important dates the when they can submit the paper, but it is not the real date, because already there are lots of papers in the queue. So if they follow the queue, usually it will take them more than 1 year to become the publication Scopus in the journal. So we are also facing this kind of sort of problem. There are lots of papers in the queue. So now, if when you submit the paper, the review process will take about 6 to 8 months, and then publication will be not earlier than 1 year.
1 year.
So sometimes it happens in 1 year and 6 months or something. So what I said that the review process will take 6 to 8 months, and publication will take the 1 to the 1 and 6 months. So that the system. So what I said that the regular process when they submit the paper, it will go for the like review process. But unfortunately, again, there is a long queue. So the reviewer, they also the compact about this due to lots of papers review process. So again, it will take a long time. And sometimes it happens that when I receive the email from the authors, they're asking that why they are taking the long time, that why they is not coming to the like the review process. But I understood their opinion, their logic. But sometimes we have to stick on this one because this is our regulation. We have to follow the review process. And usually we are sending the paper to 3 reviewers, and we maintain the one thing is that is a peer reviewed blind review. 3 reviewers should be the 3 continents. So it means that one, if the one from the Asia, another from the USA, another from the like Europe, because if you take the like 1 or 2 reviewer the same continent, the same review comments are coming. We believe this one is better than blind review, and sometimes it happens that we couldn't get that review all review at the same time. So to wait again for the third one. That's why the review process is also the very difficult process and time consuming.
So is there any chance for the if because normally the authors they have a pressure, like some authors they have pressure to publish very soon. They have the committees, or maybe they are the KPI is getting closer. So is there a way where you can shorten the process time of the publication?
There is a few options. There is one option is that we have some journal partner. So all over the world. So journal partner, they are also working to collect the papers from the authors. When they process this one, so they will do the one-step review. And then so in that case, our review will be a little bit easier. So our review function will be for the like the 2 reviewers instead of the 3 reviewers, and it will move to the like first track review process. So, but again, it will take again the at least the 8 months to the 1 year.
8 months to 1 year.
To the 1 year. So it means in the 4 months they will be taking the extra privilege. On the other hand, if this kind of situation is the suppose the promotional activity is. So if anybody send the email to me, so personally I always taking care of this issue. Is very important issue because some of the stack in the design. So from human, I could not control everything, but I can expedite the review process. I can ask the reviewer to expedite the process, so that at least we can get the extra 4 months earlier. So that's the one message for the authors. If there's any kind of special issues, they can send to me. Email. I will check it. That's very nice of you, because this is some issue some people, because our main goal of having these interviews is we want to get the perspective of the journal editor itself instead of going to the third person. So thank you very much for clearing that thing. The next issue is how do you all handle this plagiarism issues? So I want to ask you, because I think this is one of the big issues facing. So I want your opinion on that. It's very interesting things. You know that COP, Code of Publication Ethics. So we follow the COP, Code of Publication Ethics, and due to this one, we have to maintain something like we are using some software, and not only software, we are doing some other extra something to ensure that plagiarism. So I just share with you some things so you can understand, especially the viewers, they can understand the prospective authors. It happens. There is one author already published the paper in other journal. But almost same journal they are going to publish in the suppose IGSCM journal. So when we check the plagiarism, we notice that suppose 90%, 100% plagiarism. That means already published somewhere. So according to the publication ethics, is one kind of crime. And the researchers they cannot do this one. Even you know that there is some conference affiliation journal. So even the conference paper, if they like to publish the journal, they have to modify and edit at least 50%.
Okay.
So that is something I would say not the regulation, the norms we have to follow. So that 50% modification would be in terms of the title, in terms of the literature review, in terms of the references, something like that. So on the other hand, what I said, that when they submit the same paper, even the same author, the question will come the ethics.
Yeah.
So what I suggest, I'd like to request that before submission the paper, if possible, you can just like to confirm for your confirmation, you can check the plagiarism before submit the paper in the journal.
Okay.
And I suggest you should submit the same paper, conference or journal paper in any journal.
Okay.
Because it is an unethical issue, and maybe sometimes I got the one experience. One of the author, he published the paper in the IGSCM, and then he submit the same paper in the one journal in the Pakistan.
Okay.
And then I got the email from that journal editor-in-chief regarding this issue. At the time, that journal editor-in-chief, he kept the UTC in the CC.
CC.
So they like to inform the Universal Cancer Commission of Pakistan.
Oh, okay.
The author has did this kind of crime. But that author is also faculty member and assistant professor. So you understand?
Yeah.
I request that editor-in-chief please handle this situation softly.
Okay.
Because some of the young researcher, maybe they don't have the enough experience.
Okay.
Don't have enough knowledge. Maybe they don't know this one. So we have to handle this one softly. And how we can handle? We have to stop the second journal process.
Second journal.
So that they can that paper will get published again. So what I said, this is all the time we are facing this problem. Plagiarism issue.
Yeah.
So this is a very common problem.
Common problem. Yeah.
But I believe there are some young authors and research, they need some experience.
Yeah. They should know how they can handle the plagiarism.
Right.
Yeah. So thanks for your insight on that. Like you were mentioning about the journal partners a while back. So we would like to know more about what about the journal partners exactly.
Basically, journal partner is also the independent research organization.
Okay.
It is globally, like based on the Malaysia, based on Thailand, India, based on the Vietnam, Philippines. So we have some of the journal partner. But again, I remind you that even sometimes it happens, our issue is full. So we don't give any commitment that whether they become the journal partner or not. So there is a long process. There is some process as well. They have to follow this one. So they have to also maintain what I said, that one step review. So whether they can be this one or not, and then there is no compromise with the scope of the journal. You know that this is one of the most important priority, the scopus in the journal. They like to check the scope of the journal, whether they're maintaining or not. Suppose this is a supply chain management journal, so you can publish the papers on any area of supply chain management. It could be like manufacturing, it could be transportation, logistics, warehouse, raw materials, finished product. But we cannot publish any paper on the human resource management. But some of the partner or some of the authors, they think that management is any management area. So that is not the part of this journal. So that is the one understanding that journal partner, they have to ensure this one. As well as whether they are journal partner, but we do not do any kind of compromise the quality of the paper. That is the most important things, whether the editor board member and myself editor-in-chief, we have to follow.
The next question, well, this one of the audience wanted to know is like there's so many like sometimes you associate with the conference to the conferences, and how do we change a conference proceeding or the abstract to a full paper without having the plagiarism issue? And how does your journal go about that thing? Because we see that you are also associated with many of the conferences, keynote, and you will be your journal is also associated with the conference. So how about this one, this whole process?
Thank you. Very good question. Because nowadays it's a very common question. You know that in any international conference, when they are going to organize the conference, They like to keep some journals, which is the Scopus in the journal
Yeah.
or Web of Science journals, just for the marketing of their conference. And as a researcher, we have to promote that one.
Okay.
And now come to the point is, suppose that conference, they publish only just abstract.
Okay.
They read about the full paper. So
Okay.
that means it's easy.
Okay.
It's easy to come to the journal.
Okay.
But if the AD conference, they publish their own conference proceedings. Own conference proceedings.
Okay.
So that means the journal, that conference, they already published the conference proceedings in full paper already published.
Full paper, yeah.
Yeah, already published. So how they will come up the link to the journal? What I said earlier, the conference paper should be revised or modified at least 50%.
50%.
Okay. Yes, at least 50% they have to modify.
Okay.
And what I said that the conference, they will use the journal name in their website, the journal affiliation with the conference. So now we have the conference proceedings already. We have, you can see, and now they are submitting the paper. Not all paper. What is it? The scope of within the scope of area. Okay. When the paper is coming to the journal, they have to check this one. Okay. And nowadays everything is online, so it's not very difficult to check this as it is. But I suggest the authors, those who are planning to submit the paper in the conference, you have to make sure that same paper should not publish in the journal. Journal. So you have to modify, you have to edit. And how you can modify, just give some few tips. Yeah. Try to change the title at first. Title should be the same. Okay. And if anybody is searching the Google or Google Scholar by the title of the paper, the same paper will come up. Yeah. What is unethical in terms of the, so we call it, this is the one kind of unethical crime. Okay. And as well as you can change modify the your literature, how you can modify literature. Okay. You have to add the more references. Okay. When you add the more references, automatically your literature review changed. Okay. Okay. Then if you do some research, like based on the respondents, you do the survey. So earlier you surveyed respondents that was 200. Okay. Now you can modify the 250. Okay. So the 50 respondents is not very difficult job for you. So when taking the 250 respondents, then all statistical analysis will be changed. Okay. So that is the way that how you can change it. And then definitely abstract and conclusion must be restructured, rewrite. Okay. And I suggest you in that case you can use the paraphrasing. You have to do the paraphrasing. Okay. So that the same sentence should not come up in the two papers. Two papers. I again remind you that you need some expertise on that. Even you know that I conduct the many workshops in the international conferences, especially the research publication, how to publish the scopus in the journal, how to publish the high-page journal. So I always give this training in the conference that how they can go for the any kind of journal on the conference paper. So conference paper convert to journal paper. So that is the key point I mentioned. I think if you next time if you have any chance for this kind of workshop, you can conduct that kind of workshop. How they can conference paper will be converted to the journal paper. That's good. Really, really nice. So we will definitely have it in future in any of the session, that particular session. So before we wind off the interview, I want to what is the tips you can give for a young researcher and the viewers who are watching? Like, what are the things you like to advise them so that they are on the right track of research and research article publication? Thank you. Yep. You know, I just like to start in this way. I assume that there is a one audience who is a master's degree student, master's level student, or MBA student, or MTech student, or maybe the PhD student. Okay. So this kind of master's level student, they should not think to publish the scopus in the journal or the Web of Science index journal. Okay. They have to think the peer-reviewed journal. Okay. You know why I'm saying this one? Suppose when they submit the one paper in the journal, so they are waiting for the publication. And Web of Science journal or the scopus in the journal, they will take the more than 1 year. Yeah, so within the 1 year, he already finished MBA or MTech. So in the meantime, he will be fully demotivated. I submit the paper, and after 1 year, no response. And who knows? After 1 year, maybe the reviewer comments will be rejected. Okay. When the paper will be rejected, they will be too much demotivated. Yes. What happened after 1 year is demotivation. So what's my suggestion? That master's level student, MTech student, they can submit a peer-reviewed journal. At least they can publish the paper within the next 6 to 8 months. We do not say that any kind of peer-reviewed journal. At least you have to select the peer-reviewed journal. Those have the ISSN number, online and print. Those are the peer-reviewed journals, the basic need, the peer-reviewed journal. You have to check that when you like to judge the quality of the journal, this is the first step you have to confirm who is editor-in-chief.
Okay.
Because editor-in-chief is responsible to maintain the quality of the journal. And so when the editor-in-chief, if you like to see his profile from the Google, his profile is very high profile in terms of research, then definitely he is the editor board member. They also the high profile.
Okay.
So when you choose the journal, you can check the journal editor board member from different continents, not from the one country, not from the one continent, so different country.
Okay.
So it means the multicultural editor board member. This kind of journal you can go for the publication for the initial level. For PhD student, I suggest to PhD scholar that you have to submit sometimes it is a requirement in the many countries in the world that you have to publish at least one Scopus Index journal or one Web of Science Index journal, or maybe the two peer-reviewed journal. So I like to request that at first you have to publish the peer-reviewed journal. Then you have to think the Scopus Index journal, and maybe in the PhD time you will get this only acceptance letter of the Scopus Index journal. That's fine. You can apply that one. You can use that one. But if you start from the Scopus Index journal at first, I noticed that many PhD students they could not finish their PhD only for this reason.
Okay.
So because it is a long time, so they are demotivated.
Yeah.
And I'm involved with the PhD supervision. I'm involved with the PhD supervision in the Malaysian University of Malaysia, in Irajak, Putra Business School. And I'm also involved in our country, PUP, for the PhD supervision. So I always mention that we have to start from the zero, peer-reviewed journal, then think the Scopus in the journal. Then you are successful, go to the next step. But if you try to fly at first to the Scopus Index and Web of Science in the journal, sometimes they will be difficult to publish. So this is the one thing. Another one thing I like to request that you must join the international conference.
Okay.
So when you join the international conference, you could see the quality of the research paper. It is not like that you are going to there just for lunch and dinner. No. And you have to share the opinion with the researcher. You will share the opinion with the scholars. So when you present your paper in the conference, some audiences they give some of the feedback, and based on the feedback you can work on that, and then make a plan to publish that conference to the journal paper, adding the more contents based on the reviewer comments which is received from the conference. So sometimes I always mention for PhD students, PhD scholars, you just remember that your conference is the fourth step before the journal publication. And some of them I noticed that without any conference participation, they publish the paper and sometimes you are crossing the step. So when you're crossing the step, sometimes who knows? Maybe after the 5 years, you can say, I have no conference. Why?
Conference, right?
So that is something you have to remember. This you have to follow this one. And you know that I just share with you. Our culture in Bangladesh and India as well. We are a little bit more teaching universities we are following, not the research university. We compare the US states and Europe. But we are trying to promote. And earlier I organized the two conferences as a program chair, ICBM 2017, ICBM 2019. And now currently we are working the another international conference next year in our university, University of Bangladesh, ICEBTM, International Conference on Economics and Business Management. In that conference, what I say, we have one session for the meet the editors. So there will be some invited editors will be there. And not only that, there suppose what is it that according to my earlier experience, this kind of conference at least 200, 300 authors will be there. So if you join any conference, this type of conference, you are getting some of the favor of the CEO. That is the way we have to continue our research. Somebody they're thinking they're doing the survey, finish the paper. No. This is the only one tools survey. Correct. But you have to know how we construct the paper. This is very important discussion, important thing. And not only that, in this kind of international conference, there is a journal affiliation. Suppose in our
Correct.
next conference, ICEVTM, gives a journal affiliation. So
Mhm.
definitely they are getting some chance to publish the journal.
Publish that.
But they have to go to the conference, then journal. So what I
Then
said that
yeah.
as a PhD scholar, you have to give the consistent of the conference participation.
Right.
Then
Okay.
go for the journal, peer-reviewed journal, then Scopus or Web of Science Edition.
Okay. Okay, Professor, it was great talking to you, and I really appreciate for the insight you have given for us, for all the researchers, and especially the people who are looking at publishing in your journal. And not only that, other than your this, you also explained about the conference participations and other things. So I really appreciate, and I hope future also research circle might organize some of the workshops through you, so we can know about these things better. And for all the viewers, like if you want to see more of a professor, we are going to schedule some workshops in future, so you stay tuned with research circle, so you can see more of professor related to research. Thank you very much, Professor, and hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Uh, we thank all our guests today, and our special guest today, Professor Dr. Mohammad Manum Habib, who has given us a good insight and on what is it exactly to get published in this journal. Not only that, he has covered a range of issues like plagiarism, conference participation, and how to convert a conference paper to a normal uh, research article. So I also thank to all the viewers for supporting us and watching this live. Not only that, we will request you to share this video with different people, the peer researchers, so that they also get to know more about this journal. Not only that, the publication process in general. And if any of the viewers want to submit their video abstract or any information related to research, kindly send us at the email ID given below, so that we can process it and publish it in our YouTube channel as well as the Facebook channel. And as I briefed you all last time, uh, at Research Circle, we believe that it's not only about our team, it's about all the researchers together to help each other. It's by the researchers and for the research. So until our next edition of Research Circle Editors Desk, see you all. See you soon in other editions of Research Desk. Thank you all.
हाँ जी, हाँ जी।